interpretation of a meeting that we had earlier today on Zoom is that nothing's been signed off on as of yet. There's been some proposals put to us, but in terms of signing off on it, I don't think that's been agreed yet. That's certainly my interpretation of where that meeting was at.
Were you surprised then with the announcement?
Look, to be honest, I didn't know that anything was being announced yet. That's the first I've heard of it just there. But yeah, I guess until the players are on board, I don't think anything should be announced just yet. Again, that's just.
I agree.
I get that. But what's the whole?
Unless things have changed since what time were we on? 3:30 to 4:30. Like, I'd be very surprised. There's so much to consider in this, and I'm surprised they've announced that it will be back so soon. I know, obviously, you want something to be excited about. I'm excited as well.
Wayne didn't. To be fair, Wayne didn't look excited.
Playing the 28th.
You don't look excited at all.
But when Wayne first appears, when we showed the footage at the start, we were like, yeah, he looked. Nervous. He looked cautious. He didn't look certain. There was no conviction.
This is what we're
doing. Now we speak to James and the players aren't exactly on the same page.
So what's to sign off on? So what are the sticking points? Is it the percentage? Is it the pay cuts? Is that what we're waiting on? Is that what we're trying to negotiate on here?
Well, I think it's sorry, mate. I think it's logistically how it's all going to work in terms of so you've got lads from New Zealand. If they come over here, then they can't get back into their country. And sorry, I don't want to misquote. The difficulties involved in getting them back, and potential from separation from family. But as of 4:30 this afternoon, this is the key point from the message from Clint Newton is nothing's been agreed yet. So, but I empathise with the people that are involved in making these decisions, that they want a good news story in that. But from a player's point of view, there's so much to work through. And look, I want to play. From a player's perspective, for me, I think this could be our sort of what did you do in the Great War kind of moment. And I went out and I sacrificed time away from family and stuff like that, and I just went and played. But
hey James, I'm retired. I'm not playing anymore. So if you're hesitating to come back because you're thinking you're playing against me, then you're wrong.
Oh mate, come on. Are you seriously still not playing, lads? I thought the insurance company had wiped off that shoulder.
Well, listen, I'll come out for one game just against you, mate. I just want it. I just want some of you again, mate.
Would the insurance company allow that?
I don't know. I would just love you one more time. Come on. Even if not, let's just get there's going some fun. Here we go. Look at you. You think you can't be tackled, Burgess? That's what he said to me after this. Mate, we started having a blue here, and he's yelling at me. He's going, "You think you can't be tackled, Burgess? Who do you think you are?" I said, "Well,
it wasn't a penalty." To carry on a lot, mate. Come on,
mate.
Let's not talk coming out of retirement. We know your shoulder's busted. 1.2 a year for a busted shoulder, lad. I think I'd sail off into the sunset as well if I were you.
Hey, well, thank you very much, James.
Let's go.
Hey, Jesus, there is some good footage there, mate. But if you want some, come get some. You want some? You got enough hands.
Sound like you're on Instagram.
It's easy to say that over FaceTime, isn't it?
Oh, jeez, you've had some good runs. Look, I'm just watching that. Remember when you tried to kick me in the head and you missed?
I can't see it.
Remember when you missed my head?
That head. I can't see what you're showing, the footage you're showing, but I do know, the odds of missing your head are minuscule. It must have been a lottery.
You tried to kick me with your right foot, maybe your left foot, I don't know. Jeez, we had some good runs.
I didn't realise how hard you two win it.
Oh, what, mate? We did
consistently.
Yeah, no,
I know
we
you
had
did
a go.
a lot, but that was...
We had a go. Why? Because we love each other. Because if we didn't have a go at each other, then we'd be disappointed.
What's the point of not trying your best?
Yeah. Especially against a red-headed...
Some good battles.
Red-headed scouts.
Would you say that both of you guys were... Were you two number one arch enemies or rivals on the field? Did you look forward to when you come up against each other? Was it like I'm playing Sammy, I'm playing James?
Well, from my perspective, from at the beginning, it was I loved it. I loved it. I used to get built up all week for it. I used to love it. The media would go mad, and we'd sit back and pretend that we didn't care too much, but we cared. Yeah. And James will tell me that he didn't care too much, but he cared. But then as we got a bit older, we sort of just understood the theatre of it, and we just did our job. But Yeah, he was a bit of a cheap shot merchant on me, James. Actually, you broke my ribs in 2014. I don't know if I've told you this.
Oh,
I went to the line.
When did that?
It was round 25. Round 25. I'm telling you, round 25. I went to the line. Passed out the back. 4 minutes later, James Graham hit me in my ribs. broke 3 ribs. Three ribs, yeah. I had to play the whole final series.
Are you sorry for that, James?
Oh, look, it's not like Bears to milk an injury. We've been over his shoulder that he's getting paid an absolute motor for. Like, what does he want? More sympathy? He played with broken ribs and he played with his cheekbone. Mine was okay, but yeah.
We are just hard at the
Bears on the sympathy train, innit? You know what I mean?
James Graham hard on the Sam Burgess. That's what he's trying to say.
So let's move back to the footy. So where to from here? I mean, obviously, you guys, as a players' association, you want to get back on the field. You know, the leaders of your association have been quite outspoken about that. There's no pay unless you guys get back onto the field. So you obviously want to get back onto the footy field.
Yeah.
What's holding you back? Apart from the logistics of the Warriors, there's got to be more.
Back on the field. Like, that's what we do. That's what we love. It as far as I'm concerned, it's not about money. It's about finding, you know, the right balance between all a multitude of factors, which is going to affect whether we can make this work. And again, like, my interpretation of the phone call that we had early this afternoon is there's not even an actual proposal there to sign off on. You know, there was talk about, you know, how the border restrictions are and how a competition might look, but you know.
But can you accept, James, that the landscape is changing day to day, and that they're, you know, with this start date that they have in mind, 7 weeks away, they're actually anticipating that possibly some of those restrictions that we have in place now won't be there, which will allow us to get back possibly to operate under the same conditions we did in round 1 and round 2, and that it's really important just to get organised so that, you know.
Yeah, of course it is. And look, I'd love to play tomorrow. I really would, but I understand that there's logistics involved in this, and you know, there's health risks and all this, and you know, there's more to getting rugby league games on than just getting 17 blokes against 17 blokes. You know, there's a lot to work through. So look, I'm as excited as anyone about getting back in less than 2 months, but I think we've got to be real and keep a lid on this, and until things are signed off on, I'd tread with caution.
James, is there a lack of trust there between players and NRL? Just obviously, I think there's been a bit uncovered, hasn't there, the past 3 or 4 weeks. How's that sit with you? A bit of lack of trust. Is that why you're pretty reluctant to agree to anything yet, because there's no deal and you've probably not seen the books and the numbers? Oh,
look, I think in terms of, I wouldn't want to see it. Like, I've literally just come off within the past couple of hours, come off a phone call where that wasn't discussed at all. In terms of trust with the NRL, mate, like, running a multi-million-dollar business, I couldn't be trusted to run a bath. So what am I going to contribute? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's easy to criticise and say I would have done this or I would have done that, but like, I'm not putting my hand up to be CEO of the NRL anytime soon.
Yeah, I know, but my point is, James, I think that's where as players would probably miss a trick. I think we've got to be across a bit more. You know, you're an intelligent bloke. I think you're selling yourself short there. You're well read. You understand business. You're a smart guy. I just think that this is a point in time or point in history of the game that as players now, we've got to start understanding a bit more. Otherwise, we're going to continue to find ourselves in this predicament. So, you know, I think that you're saying that's probably you're selling yourself short and the other players. I reckon we've just got to get on board a bit more, James.
I get your point, but this is where, like, you know, even the money side of it and everything, the politics side of the game come into it. Like, realistically, Sam, like, even when players just want to play.
Yeah, I know that.
Like, and you trust that the administrators are going to administrate the game properly. You know, if there's, you know, mismanagement of money, like, again, like, on a personal level, I've mismanaged my money before, my finances. Like,
I agree with that, yeah.
You know, these things happen. I think, you know, noises were being made by a few journalists for quite some time before this happened, and yeah, like, people should be held accountable. And if an unsustainable business model is being run, then you have the right to ask questions. And but yeah, like I say, I ain't putting my hand up to run that business anytime soon. Hopefully with this, some positive change can occur.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully the game's in a strong position in the future.